All right. So we have some very excellent things to talk about today, and this is all thanks to Dwayne Morton. Yay, big round of applause. Get your chihuahua to clap there, Jennifer. And oh, your chihuahua's sleeping?
He's upstairs in bed.
He's upstairs still in bed. Well, we got to get him on his circadian rhythm, get him used to waking up. So today we're going to talk about time blocks, blocking out time. And of course, we're still going to use Google Calendar, but instead of an hour, maybe we'll block out a little bit more. So, Jennifer, how do you schedule your day?
It's very hard to schedule the day with what we're doing with flags. I'm serious when I say that. Like, it's so hard to schedule out the day. But I have a booking calendar that gets sent out to people when they want to book a Zoom with me. And so that I'm not quite sure that I think it's working properly. It's just sometimes people will book an appointment in the middle of the night, and I'm like, how did that happen? Because it's supposed to have all of those times blocked off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could there be more people here?
Yeah, in this meeting right now, yeah. Yeah, there should be.
Where are they?
I sent some reminder texts.
Okay.
Gary is stuck in transit.
Okay.
Oh.
And he really wanted to join last week, and I told him, hey, well, join Tuesday. And yeah, no, I can understand that, just like my schedule here this morning. And you know, I still have the discipline factor of getting out of bed right away, making it, and hopping in the shower. Because we grab this, right? And we say, oh, hey, let me just scroll a little bit while I'm waking up. And we watch a cool, interesting video. And my mind is addicted to learning. So I have the excuse of learning. So it's so funny that the algorithms learn your habits, right? And they learn that since you paused for more than 6-7 seconds on one video, they're going to show you more of that same video. And I thought, and in fact, I'm going to write that down. I'm going to do a post about that, saying about the algorithms of our mind, right? So whatever we focus on, our mind gives us more of, just like Facebook Reels, just like TikTok. TikTok is the master of that. All of a sudden, you pause on cholesterol and brain health, and I got 10 other videos on cholesterol and brain health. So that's exactly what we're doing with our mind in these hypnotic mind shifts, is we're shifting to other areas. And I guess I could message other people here too, but what I'll do is I'll post this in the group. And like I said, Nirpada Rajamahi is, she's been sick. So I think she has a flu-like virus. And so she hasn't really been, the posts have been a little bit thin, but we're going to post today. I posted a quote on my personal page right now, just as I come across them. I think it's good to remind people and to share. I'm going to take a sip of water, and then I believe we're going to dive into this document. But Dwayne, how do you block out your day?
So it was a lot easier, a lot more simple when the kids were in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But with my nieces, like I'm kind of like the break glass emergency, but they break glass a lot, which is
Mm-hmm.
fine. But I'm supposed to be like that extra level. But it's like yesterday with my niece, they had to rush her to the doctor, so it was like I just had to kind of drop everything to do stuff. But that's a lot of, even, because that was an emergency, but that was kind of what I was explaining to someone was like there's a lot of like emergencies where, Aubrey will forget her soccer cleats or something like that. I mean, so there's just it's hard for me to block out Tom like the way I would have, the way I did when
Yeah.
they were gone.
And Jennifer says, "Welcome to being a mom," right? Right. And the
Yeah.
emergencies and having to handle all that and multitask. But now, your brother, or is it your brother or sister's kids? Both?
I don't know. So I just have one sibling, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, and that's fine. I'm trying to give you guys an idea of like where my time block.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the time I take like a notepad on the computer and I'll put my stuff in. And then after I've worked with you, I've been writing it down more, but I
Mm-hmm.
really still do it through the notepad because when things shift, I'm able to, it's just like, delete, copy, paste, all that kind of stuff. So I really don't use the Google Calendar, that kind of stuff. And that's something I need to do. It's just I haven't implemented it.
Well, here's my suggestion.
Mhm.
I love Calendly. Some people do, some people don't. Some people use calendars and go high level, and that's great, and other aspects. But Calendly and Google Calendars give you half-hour reminders before your appointment. So Calendly has a free version, Dwayne. And now that you're in Flex or Ruby, it's called both, right?
Yeah.
And
I mean,
now,
man, like, so Jen's like, she's really, she trains everybody pretty much. So
mhm,
her time is blocked off more with that training. Like she's more like I'm in probably about on an average day, at least 5 Zooms.
yeah, and I've
So
noticed that.
yeah, so it's a little bit different because I'm doing a lot of different things. Like, so it's like I kind of like it because I can focus on something for a little bit, drop it, go to something else. So it's like I'm getting it's kind of like a new day, is the way I
Hmm.
look at it. Um, but there's just things. I'm also really disciplined anyway, so a lot of that stuff is easier for me than it is for a lot of others. Is like I don't miss meetings, so like if I miss this meeting, it's because I'm sick or
Hmm.
I can't be here or something like that. And I'm just trying to give you an idea. It's like I'll be here every time because
Well,
if I make that commitment, I have that mentality of always showing up.
yeah, I used to be so adverse to using a Google Calendar, and I said I would never use it. And now that I use it, Dwayne, I can't get by without it. Because if it's not Calendly, that automatically schedules it in my Google Calendar as well. So it's a double
Mhm.
check. It's like hitting the snooze, but you don't have to hit the snooze to remind you.
Right.
And so I would get into the free version of Calendly. You can create one event, you can create questions on it, and you can use that for your appointments.
Yeah.
Um, and then you can even book for invitee. So you can use it to book on your Google Calendar if you want as well, or you can just go over to Google Calendar. But here's the thing. I had read that the millionaires, the most successful people in the world, used time blocks. So I've researched that, and that's why it's taken me just a little bit of time to get into this. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share the page. We're going to go out of the Zoom. Let me go here. Um, and we got,
Also, oops, sorry.
No, that's all right. I'm gonna shut off my phone. I forgot.
No, I was just gonna say I don't want to act like I'm putting a bunch of like pushback because I mean everything you told me has been golden. The only thing is I'm so focused on never missing a meeting. You know, like I don't want to miss meetings, and I'm afraid if I put something digital and other people are able to schedule, I'll miss meetings, and it's because stuff will come up.
Oh
That
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And here's the thing. Yeah, stuff comes up, so it commits you to that time,
right.
right?
So it's like with the kids, like Oakley, I pick up all the time pretty much, but Aubrey, I don't. But sometimes they just like, hey, this person was supposed to pick them up and they can't, so we need you to pick them up. And I'm one of those type people. I would rather go get them at the end of school than let them sit for an hour and a half before we can pick them up because I just don't trust the school security
Yeah.
system.
Well, I hope your brother buys you some good dinners or compensates you some well, because you're an excellent uncle. I want to tell you that, an excellent person for doing that. And your brother actually probably has a 9 to 5 job, right?
Yeah, so his job is actually 5 to 3, so he isn't able to do it, or he would, but he would be the next person on the list, and like, we never know where he's at. I mean, because he he does the like gas lines, the natural gas lines,
Mm-hmm.
so if he can get called out, and as soon as he gets home and he's out for the whole night, like who knows?
Well, yeah. And boy, 5 p.m. to 3 in the morning. Yeah, that's quite a shift.
Well, no, so
So,
it's 5 a.m. to 3 p.m.,
oh,
but then
5 a.m.
more, yeah,
Okay, okay. I thought maybe he
yeah.
was working late nights.
No, but as soon as like something breaks or something, he has to go. I mean, it's like
Mm-hmm.
because of natural gas. Anyway, I'll be quiet and let you start your thing.
Oh, no, no, that's fine. I wanted to find out about everything. And Jennifer, I thank you. What's going through your mind right now? You, I'm sure, use schedules, right?
Yeah, so my Thursday, Friday, and Saturday I work. And that is basically I work from 2 o'clock till 10:30, but I have to block out basically from just before lunchtime all the way up until after midnight because we're sharing a vehicle. It takes time to get ready for work. Like you got to grab all of your, get all suited up and everything. So it's that takes a huge time. And then prior to work on those days, I try to spend time with my family.
Mm-hmm.
And so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are the days that I do Flex Zooms, Ruby Zooms. And yeah, I have a hard time blocking out because we're dealing with an international situation. So it's hard to just segregate one part of the day and then, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, because you want to be able to serve everybody and have everybody be happy, but at the same time, yeah, you do need to sort of have stuff for yourself to do. But right now, we're just in the middle of like a lot of momentum with Ruby as well. So
You
we
know,
don't
and
want to.
I'm excited about that. Now, have you seen profits from Ruby? Yeah,
So
or it's mm-hmm.
Dallas, what do you, or not Dallas, Dwayne, what do you think?
I think she has kind of, but I don't think that's the profits of like the potential. Like, I mean, so last night we did a meeting with Zach,
Mm-hmm.
and so Zach's a big dog, man, and like he has access to someone else who's like a really big dog on online space.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I asked her to like I stayed up to 1 because I knew, hey, it was an important person, which I was tired at like 12. I was ready to go to sleep. I even mentioned it to them. But I wanted to make sure that he was comfortable and like he was, he felt like he was trained enough that he could go play with it.
Well, interesting. And I'm interested to find out what he thought of the little master class that I did.
Oh,
So,
he loved it.
okay,
He
good.
actually put like a shout out on his Facebook profile
Nice.
for me and for you. Like, so he was
Awesome.
to thank for the hypnosis. He just whenever he gets a chance and like to add you and all that kind of stuff, gets to know you better. You're going to see a lot of engagement from him and from his friends.
Nice.
So yeah.
All right. Well, cool. Let's dive into time blocking as we get the mouth going here. Conquering your day, how to time block, or how time blocking makes you a master of minutes. So ever feel like there just isn't enough hours in the day? That's where successful people turn to a time management superpower. It's called time blocking. It's like upgrading from an hourly schedule to a personalized game plan for crushing your goals. Here is how it works. Become a master scheduler. Think of your day as a blank canvas. I know it's tough, but grab your calendar, or digital old school paper calendar works as well. Write down all your commitments, meetings, appointments, that dentists you keep putting off, and other appointments that we procrastinate about. And that's why you're here, because we're going to help you on procrastination as well. Now, time to block those personal priorities, the gym session, or that creative writing time or hobby time that I suggest to everyone. Now, I read a bit from Laura Vanderkam. She's an author of 168 Hours. You Have More Time Than You Think. The key is to treat your time like money. You wouldn't just leave your wallet open on a table. Block out the time for what matters most and stick to that schedule. So I love that metaphor and a way of thinking. Treat your time like money and block it out like a boss. Here's the magic. Instead of just listing things by the hour, chunk your day into focused time blocks dedicated to specific tasks. So, Dwayne, you've got to pick up one of the nieces at what time?
So it's 3 p.m.
Okay. And how long does it take to pick up and come back home?
So if I wait and get in line like most people do, like at like say 2:50, I won't get home till like 3:45, 4 o'clock. So I usually get there early, like 2:30. So I have to block out from 2 p.m. and I get back at about 3:30.
Wow.
It's about an hour and a half thing.
Okay, and you don't stop anywhere on the way back home, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So block out an extra half hour. So instead of 9 a.m. work on report, use 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. research data for the report. When you do like niching down in your specialty, right? You can niche down in your calendar and say research data for the report, because work on the report is kind of generic, but by niching down, this laser focus helps you to avoid distractions and keeps you on track. Time management guru Dan Sullivan reminds us focus on being productive instead of just busy. And that's pretty golden right there. Because how many times have you just been busy? I'm just busy scrolling, and how productive is that? It's not very productive. Embrace flexibility, but not too much. So life happens, unexpected things, like you had to bring your other niece to their emergency room. That's okay. The beauty of time blocking is you can adjust, you schedule as needed. You didn't finish that report during the block, well, reschedule it for later. And again, I always like to take out the word try because it still creeps into my vernacular, but
Attempt.
yeah, attempt is another one. But do not create a domino effect for delays. I believe that's right. There we go. Now, batch similar tasks together. I remember when I first waited tables at Chili's chain restaurant, and they told me treat your whole section of 4 as one table. And I've used that in so many areas of my life, and I have that reminder. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving this room. What else can I take to the trash, to the recycle bin? Can I take out of this room that I've used and into the other room, right? What else can I do? Ever feel like you spend half your day just checking emails or messages? I should put, or DMs. All right. Be modern. So block out specific time for email calls and administrative tasks. Batching keeps your brain focused, reduces that mental context switching cost. Those of us who get bored easy and have a little bit of ADHD, we tend to switch on tasks. And when I focus, like I'm almost done with my weather numbers for the day. And it was because I focused on just that. And sometimes, okay, a lot of times I can't even listen to a YouTube video while I'm doing weather numbers because it distracts my brain, right? Mm-hmm. So there you have it. Time blocking isn't about rigid control. And I'm going to use a better example than 9 to 10. Maybe you need, I'm going to add to that. I'm going to put, you need to block out time from 8:50 to 10:20. You know, that way you're giving yourself a little half-hour buffer, or 8:40 to 10:20. That way you give yourself 40 minutes, because then there are little distractions. Now, Jennifer, you're so busy during that block of time, but on the other time blocks, do you block out things for just Jennifer, just for your fun, your brain, your hobby, your dogs, your kids? What do you do?
I'm just spontaneous in that sense, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm not able to be spontaneous, like have blocks of time where I can be spontaneous, I start to get a little bit irritated.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that I need that time to have freedom from a schedule, like freedom from serving others or doing for others. And whenever I'm doing for others, it's usually doing for me too, but in the same time I need those kind of like a way to just dump my brain and not be focused on a lot of things. Like sometimes I can't even look at a computer.
Yeah.
Or I'll purposely leave my phone at home so that it forces me to not respond to people right away, because if I have my phone on me, I will respond. There's no doubt about it. But if I kind of go, okay,
That,
walk in the backyard or take the dogs for a walk. But I mean, it's so bad lately that, even when I'm paddleboarding, I've got my phone on me. That's not okay.
no, and my wife reminds me of that. But I want you to repeat. I need that time away from others. Say that.
I need that time away from others.
I need that time of not answering messages, emails, or sometimes even phone calls. I let it go to voice message and then I answer, right?
Yeah.
And especially the spam calls now, and I see all the ads. Hey, get people to answer the phone even more with this software, because you can choose their local area code, which bugs me as a local business provider because I'm thinking, oh, it's a potential hypnotherapy local client, right? No, it's a spam call about CRM software or how their bookkeeping service in India can help me out. But here's the thing. I look forward to going to the grocery store and to Walmart, and people are like, oh, I hate Walmart. No, it's how you represent it in your mind. And remember, I did that presentation on our second group call about belief, and you need desire, visualization, and expectation. Well, I answered somebody's post this morning about, expectations just disappoint you in life, but it was expectations about others. And what expectations can we control? Just the expectations about ourselves. Others, can we control them? No. Can we make them not ghost us or do things that disappoint us? No. We can only raise our vibrational level. So I complimented the girl's post because I've always been taught in business management, I remember the Oreo cookie method. Have you heard that? And with moms, you give a positive first, like, Jennifer, that pink color really looks good on you. That's a good color for you. And I really mean that. Okay. But, the fact that you are answering messages right away from people, it's keeping you from that mental recharging time, isn't it? It's keeping you from that little mental break time. But Jennifer, the fact that you included your mom and husband last night in the call and included them a bit in what you do, I thought that was very sweet, and I thought that was very caring. And I really did. Honestly, I do. But see, I sandwiched two positives with a not too negative, but it's something that you pointed out and said, hey, I know it's a negative, right? I know it. There's certain times to answer emails. There's certain times to answer messages. And so now, even this morning, I made the coffee. I made a quick little breakfast. I ate probably way too fast, but I was trained by my dad to eat fast because he grew up in a family of 8, and they weren't very well, they were poor. So if you didn't eat fast enough, your brother or sister on either side of you would eat off your plate and eat your food, right? So that just kind of got ingrained, like that's how you eat, it's like a race. Is that good for your digestive system? Probably not. No. But embrace flexibility. So Dwayne, I know you look at schedules as not being that flexible, but if you do have a sales call meeting at 10 a.m., you probably should take it. And if you don't want to commit to that, I've had some allergy coughs here. If you don't want to commit to that, or you have a Zoom that you have every day, like or every Tuesday and Thursday like this one, then we schedule the appointments and we block out that time for the Zoom. And we block out enough to where we can get a glass of water, grab a snack, get ready to then go into our next meeting. Jennifer, you have something to say.
Oh, I said, Dwayne, you're falling asleep. You're getting very sleepy.
Yeah, I'm hypnotizing him. He's used to, plus my voice now, if you've been listening to the recording. I don't know, Jennifer, if you've downloaded, I can send you the link again.
I have it now. Yeah.
Okay. You've
I
downloaded
last night, but I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
But just hearing your voice, I'm like, okay, I better sit back.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's
When
good.
Chuck,
And
every time Chuck says tired, I'll yawn.
mm-hmm. And then that's why I say during the session, when I and only I say the word sleep, because can you imagine, somebody else says, oh, I didn't sleep too well last night, and all of a sudden you go into a hypnotic state. That's not a good thing, right? But that way then you're not going to get into that. So that's my time blocking for today. And what I want to do also, I'm going to stop sharing here, is the statement that time is treat time like you do your money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I treated time like I did my money back in college or even 6-7 years ago, if you ever wanted to make money, Jennifer and Dwayne and everybody out there listening on the replay, all you had to do is just follow Chuck behind his car because he was throwing it out the windows, right? Mm-hmm. Especially when I waited tables in my second degree, I was like, oh, people gave this to me so I didn't value it the way I do now. And I'm not obsessed. Once you realize that money flows in a circle, and as long as you keep a little bit more than what goes out, then you're good. But when you realize that, hey, giving money back to people who need it into the economy, to that store, the store owner needs to pay bills. That person I hired as a coach needs to pay bills when you look at it that way. And there are some of the people I've talked to in the masterclass that were like me, that still were desperate about money. And it's tough to be giving or spend when you don't have enough money. But that mindset, what happens when you focus on the deficit? That's why the original Dave Ramsey, he's changed a bit, but he used to say, focus on debt, focus on debt. Well, what are you going to get more of when you focus on debt? Whatever you focus on expands. So why not focus on making more avenues of income, like Ruby, like other things? Dwayne, I bet you could part-time teach younger kids that want to know the form and technique of shooting basketballs, and it would be a passion that you would enjoy, and you could make a little bit of extra money. I'm just throwing that out there.
No, that's actually something my brother, because my brother's the middle school coach, and so he's been trying to, and he really has. He's been, and I hate the word try too, and I just used it again, but he's doing something where he's incorporating me into the mix of that.
Now he needs to then give you the opportunity to talk to the parents, to say, hey, for an extra $20 a week or whatever people can afford in your area, and whatever you think is fare plus $5 for your time and gas, you need to institute that in there, right?
Yeah.
You need to figure out a way to make more money. And Jennifer has done that. And you've done that many times in your life as well. I have done that where now I'm thinking, where else? I talked to somebody on LinkedIn that wants to become a news anchor. And then Sade, after going on, I don't know what it is doing, after going on, being in my hypnotic program for 5 sessions, she has, and going on the masterclass, she goes, I think I want to become a speaker.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, oh, wow. And so I have been a speaker on stages in many different forms. And so I'm going to give her like the shooting technique of the basketball, where your hands need to be, where your feet needs to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you aim your feet at the basket? Where should it be? You know, I look at Caitlin Clark, and she's a master of technique, isn't she? In the way she steps back, right?
Yeah. So Clark actually does what I do. She doesn't worry about her feet. It's her shoulders, which is the
Yeah.
most important thing. And so um, the feet isn't something you can use in a game concept. So I don't like I was telling somebody the other day is like the little logo guy has me spinning a ball. I can't spin a ball on my finger because I never cared about it. But like I would keep my shoulders square. I'd work on game stuff as a practice. And so that discipline I think carries over to anything though. That's the other
Oh,
part.
repeat that again.
Yeah, so I believe that discipline carries over to anything. Like
That discipline
Yep.
carries over to anything.
Yep.
And relating it to the time blocking, it is flexible discipline. So those of us who don't like rigid 9 to 10, that's it, schedules, you add a little bit of flexibility into the block. And that's something I learned. You
Right.
know, I played a little bit of basketball at the Y and with my friends and growing up, but I was more versed as a defensive soccer player and fullback. I attempted wrestling for a woman, the things you do for love, and I went from 180 pounds down to 128 pounds, and she broke up with me because I was too skinny. And then I said, enough of this wrestling stuff. I wanted to wrestle on a date with her, not wrestle on a mat with and so I quit the sport, right? Was that too blunt?
It's funny, man. It's funny.
And so then I gained my weight back, and then she started paying attention to me. Then I thought I was still the same Chuck. What made the difference? And she was a very visual person. And when we're young, we tend to be a bit shallow, don't we?
Yeah.
And so what if you get your shoulders squared up for the day and don't worry about your feet? What if your time block that includes your nieces and again, you tell your brother, hey, I need at least one nice meal a month, and I'm sure he takes care of you a little bit, right?
Oh yeah. I get invited to just walk up and eat whenever they'll his wife is really good at cooking like lasagna and then he cooks steak and stuff. So I mean they pay it back like what they can, but I mean ultimately I get to spend time with my nieces, so that's kind of fun. It's I get that trade off of like I get more time with the kids. So
and what if all the skill set makes you in the future be a better dad. I don't know if that's a goal of yours, but
Not really. I
no.
mean, so no, and I'm saying that
And-
because no, like, and the reason I'm saying that is like most times with relationships, I would have to move, and I
Mhm,
don't want to move.
mhm.
But I mean, I don't know. We could. I don't
Well,
want to close that door. Let's just say the door is cracked.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, and what's funny is after I found out I got misdiagnosed, like, there's been a lot of activity about, hey, you should start dating, or people that I would say I would be interested in have been popping in my life. But right now, I'm just very focused on goals and get
Okay,
my
good.
businesses up, stuff like that. You know,
Okay, good, good. No pressure, Dwayne. No pressure. We're
yeah,
not.
no pressure.
But
No.
but hey, we'll talk about it in a session. You just find yourself a local girl who doesn't want to move either. See, when people say opposites attract, that is BS. We have to be like each other
Right.
on the same vibrational wavelength, which Stephanie, who was in the masterclass, wrote me this morning on Messenger and said, I really resonated with the constructive interference physics law, two wavelengths of the same amplitude, when they meet, the energy explodes. So when you're like somebody, they like you. And you have to be like them in about 3 ways minimum. And we don't even realize it. We're just like, hey, I really like spending time with that person.
Right.
So there you go. We're getting into other subjects, but here's the thing. Time management is all about us. Our focus on the 3 things we have to do for today. And when I make that list, and I stick to it. So you write the 3 things on your time management, you block some time for each thing. And sometimes you only have 2 hours and that thing's going to take 4. So then you're going to have to block another 2 for the next day. But again, you're not overwhelming yourself with too much to do. You know, 5 Zoom meetings. There's not much to do on a Zoom meeting. You participate, you learn a few things, right, Dwayne?
Yeah.
Each meeting you go on, and they can be valuable. And so here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your 3 things for today, block out a little bit of time, even if you have a half hour, to work on one of the 3 things. And then tell me on Thursday how that worked out. And since you 2 showed up, you get to pick a topic for Thursday. What would you like me to cover or recover? What do you think?
Well, I was just thinking, would it be possible to get a copy of that PDF you just did so that I could read it on?
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's share again.
When you are talking about it, I can't seem to read it because I'm getting hypnotized.
Okay. Well, but it's good to listen to me talk about it first, so then when you read it, you'll understand it more. And I'm going to make a couple little corrections because I write these in the morning, and we're going to do anyone with the link, and we'll put as a viewer. Here, you can put notes. I'll put as a commenter. So you can say, hey, Chuck, I think this would be said better this way. And here we go. I'm going to put this in the chat. Boy, I'm going to become a Zoom master here with these group classes.
Oh yeah, you're doing.
What?
You're
I'm doing better.
improving. Yeah, no, you're improving really well.
Yeah, because see, I've only been on Zooms as a viewer, pretty much. And I've done Well, before that master class, I did 2 other master classes.
Mhm.
And one of them was completely done by supposedly a co-master class expert. Did I tell you about that? And we got 50 people to sign up and all this. And he accidentally sent Coach Sarah's masterclass Zoom link from the week before and not Chuck's Zoom link. So for the first 10 minutes of our masterclass, I'm getting messages from my relatives and people that want to get in saying, hey, there's nobody's letting us in. And I'm like, nobody's trying to get in. And I said, hey, to the guy, check the link. And it in front, it said Coach Sarah's link. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And he's like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. And so there you go. But you're welcome, Jennifer. And so we got as many people in there, but you make sure that the little details are there. So last night for the masterclass, I was better and more mentally organized for it. Still, on a couple graphics, there were a couple double words that I want to fix, but that's just me being obsessive compulsive. The main issues were there. And then before I speak to 700 people in this business group, I'm going to make a presentation that's more business focused and a little bit more understandable for the business part. But that's just me looking to improve. So when it comes to your life, when it comes to your schedule, look on how you can improve it. When you have that free time. How did you find time to shoot 500 baskets, Dwayne?
I just did it. I also felt like a desire to.
Oh yeah.
So
And
that's the other thing about this time block is like I
Mhm.
was like, I actually put it. I was like, desire it, like
But how easy is it to desire to shoot baskets for him?
well, it's a passion. So it's
Oh
like
yeah.
so, but and so that's the thing is with business is a passion too. So it's like it's one of those things with if it'll help out with the other stuff, it'll and that's what I'm trying to do is like uh I'm trying to use it as like a plan of attack. That's actually the thing I talked about in the speech the other day was like my Dwayne's daily plan of attack. And so
Nice.
it's just left foot, right foot after you do your, you wake up and you do the gratitude part and you stretch and then you go on your day. And like when obstacles come in, we, uh, we attack them, but we also have to adapt. And so honestly, time scheduling has always been a huge issue for me. So even the writing down the things that you told me, like the 3 things to focus on, and that was like very difficult. But now I'm in a month, doing better at it. And so that's the thing is like I know this is going to help. It's just I've got to implement it into where it becomes a habit.
And that's where Nike made that just do it. You just did it.
Mm-hmm.
And they interviewed probably 20,000, 40,000 athletes. And they probably said the same thing as you. It's a passion, and I just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you schedule out time? Well, some days, but most of the time I just get up and I just do it.
Mm-hmm.
So with the time block, just do it. Any other questions, Jennifer? Comments?
I got a question for you.
Sure.
So last night, it's a little bit unrelated, sorry, but last night
No, yeah.
Wayne was asking me, he's like, just a reminder about your Zoom tomorrow morning with Puck. And I was like, I didn't realize what day of the week it was. I'm like, oh gosh, are we doing a Ruby tour with Puck? I totally forgot. Like, what time is it at? And then I was like, oh, tomorrow's Tuesday. But so anyways, I was just wondering if you do use your Ruby.
I actually, honestly, have just toured around a little bit on it, and I need a Ruby tour.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. Just don't hypnotize me.
okay, I won't. And then I'll say, Jennifer, you need to make a song for me. And
I love the one that Dwayne made for the hypnosis. That one just gets me.
yeah, and I've got to share that with a few more people. Dwayne, I think you sent me the link. Send it to me again. I'd love to.
I'll send it to you again,
Yeah.
as an MP3.
Yeah.
But like, if you want, because it's very prevalent to what we're doing, is
Mhm.
you can play that. You know how you had the theme song for like last night.
Mhm.
You can use that because
Okay.
it you know it's very relatable because that's what we're doing. You know, we're inviting our friends and stuff like that. So
Nice.
I
Well,
think when I hear that song, all I can think about is Chuck and how
well,
he's
thank you.
helping us to get out of our head heads, out of our own way.
And it's so funny. And Danny never gave me credit for the robot Chuck he developed of me that's helping his sales. But it's fine because yeah, he did give me credit in one of the meetings, and he even calls the robot Chuck. But yeah, if a song, if a word or a phrase reminds you of how to get out of your own way, be more aware of living in the right now, then my job has been successful in guiding you to where your focus needs to be. And time management is something that's not a fun thing, but when you look at it as, hey, this is kind of fun. I want to see how much time I can squeeze out of my day to get these three things done. And you look at it more as a game and blocking out. And that's another thing that I'm going to probably add there is somehow make it a game of getting as much comfortably, that's the word, into your day, and then being consistent about the things you have to be consistent about. So hopefully that resonates with you too and everybody watching on the replay. But we will, is this time good for you too? Uh-huh.
yeah, uh, it's good for me either one. Or if you need to move it an hour up,
Yeah.
or not up, but back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think for now we'll keep it at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think people like Dale, she had to pick up her kids who were out of town, out of state, and some other things. So there's just life gets in the way of our schedules and in our Zoom meetings. But this was valuable today. I'm going to finish what I didn't finish in my time block for my weather forecasting. And I've only got 10 more cities to do, maybe less, 8. So there you go. But I wish you success today and just be methodical. And like Dwayne said, he just did it, just shot the basketball. It's a passion. So find some other passions that you enjoyed doing when you were sitting on the porch at your grandpa's house or sitting on the beach, right, Jennifer?
Mhm.
And what other things, not only the passion of going to the beach, but what other things associated to that thing that relaxes you can be a hobby that you can put back in your life. Think about that. What do you do at the beach? Some people play volleyball. That would be another thing to switch your focus, right? And Dwayne, when your focus wanes when you zone out during a game, how dangerous is that? Not only for you, but for your team and for the score, right?
Right.
So zone out, visualizing yourself making the baskets before the game, and then focus for the entire time of the game on just doing that. And, you know, that's what I always used to. One time I saw a girl who was sick on the air giving weather in Denver, and all she did was talk about how sick she was instead of the forecast. And I thought to myself, I feel for you that you're sick, but I kind of want to know the forecast, right? So, and I know that your boss forced you to do that and all that. But again, your personal life and your business life can be separated for a little bit, and your personal life and your passion life should definitely be separated, because that little time you focus on doing what you enjoy makes a huge difference in your business and in your life. So thank you all. Appreciate it. Have a marvelous day. Oh, and any topics you come up with, send them to me. And you guys get priority on the topics. So I'll give Jennifer the next topic on Thursday, whatever you want. And then Dwayne, you can do next Tuesday again. Okay?
Okay. Thanks.
No pressure. All right. We'll keep in touch. And we'll
All right.
have to do a Ruby tour, Jennifer.
For sure.
Okay.
I'm very
Thank you.
task orientated when I do it. So
Nice.
sleep.
All right. Thank you all.
Okay. Thank you
Take
so
care.
much.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too.